Good morning, sixth grade. Hopefully everybody had a great night and got caught up with all their work yesterday. Today, we're moving on to a new lesson. Chapter 12, Lesson 3, Area of Composite Figures. So let's figure out where that information's at. You're on your Google Classroom. Go over here to your classwork. Scroll down here to Chapter 12. Click on that, and here are your notes right here that are completed. Chapter 12, Lesson 3. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we're going today with area of composite, our figure. So as you know, the area is everything in the middle. When we deal with composite, our figures, what we're dealing with here are two different shapes, okay? So basically we have to figure out the area of one shape and then figure out the area of the other shape, add them together. That's our composite shape, and that gives us our total, our area. So let's see what we have here. We have some of our formulas here. As you know, a parallelogram, okay? When finding the area of a parallelogram, we use area equals base times height. The area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 times base times height, or base times height divided by 2, whichever way you'd like to solve that. Then you get into your trapezoid. Remember, trapezoid is equal to your area equals 1/2 times the height times the quantity base 1 plus base 2. And then finally, our circle is area equals pi r squared. Remember, your radius goes from the center out to the edge, okay? If you're given the diameter, make sure that you cut that diameter in half. You divide the diameter by 2, and then that gives you your radius. So, composite. A composite figure is made up of two or more shapes. Find the area of a composite figure. Decompose the figure into shapes, okay, with areas you know how to find. Then find the sums of these areas here. So if we take a look here, this is a weird looking shape. So we do not have one formula here that says, hey, we can find the area of this shape. So we have to break it apart. As we see up top here, we have a parallelogram. So we know area equals base times height with that. And then we also have down here a rectangle. And we know the area for that is area equals base times height. So we find the area of each one of those, add them together. It gives us the total area of the shape. Now, one thing I want to warn you about with this one here, as you see here, if we break this into two shapes, we have half of a circle here, or a circle. So when finding the area of this circle, we have to make sure that we divide it by 2 because it's only half of the circle. If we do not divide it by 2, we're actually adding the second half into this shape also, which would not work out. So we find the area of this semicircle, which is going to be area equals pi r squared divided by 2. And then we're also going to find the area of this square. In this area, the square can be area equals side squared or still base times height. And then add those two numbers together to give us our total area here. Over here, we have this odd looking shape. Well, if we break it down, we're going to have a triangle and a trapezoid. Now make sure, remember, this side over here is not a measurement we're going to be using. That's going to be a hypotenuse. Here's our base. Here's our height here. Okay. We will not need this number over here. Now, over here, this is our trapezoid. You can call this little piece here base 1, and this little piece, in this bigger piece, base 2, or you can flip-flop them. That works either way. And once again, this length here at the bottom will be our height of the trapezoid. Find the area of each, add them together, gives you the total area of this shape. So let's practice some now. Okay, if you take a look here, it says find the area of the composite figure, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so we have this odd looking shape here, a arrow, so we cannot find the area by just one formula. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what this area is here first, okay? We'll do the letter A first. As you see, it's just a rectangle. And we see the base is 23, height is 15, area equals base times height, which is going to be 15 times 23. 15 times 23 is 345 inches squared. Remember, our units of measurement in area are always squared. Now, we have to figure out what this triangle is. Okay, you cannot say, hey, this length here is 6, or hey, this length is 12. No. If we look at this base right here, okay, it says this piece here is 6, this piece here, so we got 6 here, and we've got 6 here. Okay, we got to figure out what this piece is here. Well, if we look directly across here, we can see that it's 15. So in order to figure out what this whole base is, we have to go 6 plus 15 plus 6 is going to be 27. And we can see that this height is 8. So it's 27 times 8 divided by 2, which gives me 108 inches squared. Add these two measurements together. 345 plus 108 equals 453 units squared. So make sure you square your unit of measurement because it is the area. Okay, let's look over here. Here it looks like we are going to have 3 shapes. Okay, this is what you got to be careful with. Now, if we take a look, let's go with A here. Well, you're saying, hey, what shape is this? Well, look at that. That's actually 1/4 of a circle. Okay, 1/4 of a circle here. So we're going to be using pi r squared divided by 4 now. Okay, we're dividing by 4 because this is 1/4 of a circle. We can see from this point over or from this point up, we can see that our radius is 2. Okay, so if we do this, we're going to get pi times 2 squared divided by 4, which gives us 4 pi divided by 4. Well, we can cancel these 4s out, okay? They will cancel out. We're just left with pi, and we're just going to use that as 3.14, okay? So the area of A is going to be 3.14 inches squared. Next, what I decided to do is take B here, okay? B, I know this distance from here to here is 2, and this distance from here to here is 2 also. So area equals base times height. 2 times 2 is 4, so it's 4 inches squared for B. Now let's look at this second piece down here. If we look, this length here, this height here, 2 to this point, 2 to this point. So I know this whole length here is 4. And if I know this whole length here is 4 also, and from here to here is 2, that makes this base here 2. Okay, so it's going to be area equals base times height divided by 2, which equals 4 times 2 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4 inches squared. So now we have all 3 of our measurements. Okay, so it's 4 plus 3.14. Now, I did not round this. I should have rounded this. You get actually 11.14 inches squared, or as you know, we should make this rounded to the nearest tenth. It is just going to be 11.1 inches squared. Okay, so there you go for that example right there. Okay, let's turn over to the next page here. Solve problems involving area. Often the first step in a multi-step problem is to find the area of a composite figure. Okay, so that's what we may have to do here first. Okay, so it says here, if we take a look, a ceiling tile covers 3 feet square. Okay, or three square feet, or 3 feet squared. How many tiles are needed to cover the octagonal ceiling shown at the right? Okay, so here's our ceiling here. As you see, we have 2 pieces here, 2 different shapes, I should say. We have our rectangle here in the middle, and then we have our trapezoid up here and a trapezoid down here. So really it looks like these trapezoids B, okay, are exactly the same. Okay, we're probably just going to have to multiply that answer times 2, which will make our lives easier here. So if we start here with A, we see that the base is 18, the height is 20. So area equals base times height, which would be 20 times 18, which equals 360 feet squared. So I know the area of A is 360 feet squared. Now let's go over here to B. Well, I'm just going to do this top piece here, and then I'll multiply it times 2 to get the other piece here. So I know that the area for a trapezoid is 1/2 base times the quantity B1 plus B2. Okay, so if we look here, we have our half. We have the height. Our height here is 5. Okay, let's look at our bases. I have a base of 10 and a base of 18. Add those together, you get 28. So basically, we have 1/2 times 5 times 28 equals 70 feet squared. Now, to have the area of both of these, I'm going to multiply it times 2. So 70 times 2 is 140. So these two B's added together are 140 feet squared. So now I'm going to figure out what the total area is of this composite shape. So we got our 360 from A plus 140 from the B's equals 500 feet squared. Now, we want to know if one ceiling tile covers 3 square feet. Okay, how many ceiling tiles are we going to need? So that's why I take that 500 and divide it by 3. Okay, I can do this because this is in feet squared and that is in feet squared. And that gives me 166 and 2/3. So how many full of the tiles are we going to need? We would round that up to 167 tiles. Okay, so that's what gives us the number of tiles that we will need to put this ceiling in. Okay, let's look over here. A carpeting costs $2 per square foot. How much will it cost to carpet the area shown? Okay, so if you notice here, we have 3 different size shapes here. Okay, so let's start here with A. A, if we look here, we have a rectangle with a base of 14, height of 10. So area equals base times height. So 14 times 10 is 140 feet squared. Next, we'll go with B. If we take a look here at B at this little square here, because it's a 3 by 3. So it's just A equals side squared. So, or base times height. So area equals 3 times 3, which is 9 feet squared. So we have the B is 9 feet squared. Let's go with the C here. C, look at this distance here. This distance here is the same as this base here. So this is going to be 14 also, okay? And the height is 12. So area equals base times height divided by 2 because it's a triangle. So we go 14 times 12 divided by 2 equals 84 feet squared. Now, add up all 3 of those numbers together here. So we got our 140 plus our 9 plus the 84 equals 233 feet squared. Well, we know it's $2 per square foot, okay? So, and I have 233 square feet. So I'm going to take my 233 times 2, which is going to give me a total cost of $466 just in carpeting. Okay, guys, that's all we have today on composite figures. Not too bad of a lesson, pretty easy. If you have any questions or concerns, please rewatch the video. If you still have questions, please email me your questions. Down here, you'll see where your homework is, page 570 to 573, numbers 9 through 21 odd, 24, 27 through 30 all, and 31 through 41 odd. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.